Morning, comrades. How are we doing today? It is Monday, the 14th of June, 2021. You are watching Good Morning, Comrade live broadcast. How we doing How we doing on this? Very hot. Well, it's not hot yet. But yesterday, holy shit. Very hot. Stretch of the year. I'm getting alerts on my phone already saying like the quote unquote feels like temperature is going to be over 105. So Gary's making coffee. That's cool. Oh, I gotta do some updates to this ticker here. Because we got a couple more new subs. Watermelon pickle, we got 2 more subs. Actually, no, we got 1 more sub. So the number keeps ticking up. I think I might go with Janelle Jolly's suggestion. She suggested on, I don't know if she did it on the air, but she definitely did it to me. She said, I should paint the nails silver. What do you think, folks? Silver? When we get to 25? I like that idea. By the way, I got some compliments. I was on Ben Burgess' show last night with our buddy Ben Udershin. We talked about libertarians, and I got a lot of compliments on the braids. I got some pigtails going. It really helps for this hot weather, to be totally honest. Like, it's not bad. Keeps things nice and cool. All right. Add them on. Welcome aboard, Penelope. Watching. Yeah, we had a good time on Ben Burgess' show last night. We made fun of some libertarians, which is always fun. Watched an old Sam Cedar video from that. Never thought I'd see. Well, that's actually not true, but it's always very funny to see, I suppose, libertarians when they decide actually, first principles of nonviolence, which every libertarian is like the most annoying about. Not violating the non-aggression principle, brother. When one of them just comes out and said, "Yeah, if somebody does a monopoly on a market, we'll just assassinate them." That was great. That's fantastic. Like, what do you do from there? When the libertarian basically decides that actually libertarianism is bullshit or whatever, you never know. Oh, I got thick hair. My hair's thick as fuck. Like, it just sits, and it is like a fucking mink coat sitting on my neck in the middle of summer. So I've got to pull it up. And pulling it to the sides is actually much nicer. Yeah, we got some stories here. Oh no. I did just discover that I might need to call an audible on everything. Because I discovered just yesterday that PragerU has kids programming. Maybe I need to save that maybe we can do that show with Ben Udershin. But holy shit, dude! I saw. Shout out to the Surfs. They did a video on this yesterday, or I saw it yesterday, and this was hotter than the other one. Anyway, PragerU had like some videos on like 4 kids, like PragerU 4 kids. It's actually kind of incredible. Look at this shit. And for those of y'all who don't know, I imagine 35th Parent Resources. PragerU is like a right-wing propaganda outfit. All right, let's see if they have anything on YouTube. We might need to spend a portion of the PUFK. Sounds dirty. Puff K. Little George and the Cherry Tree. How to get kids to listen. Ooh. Little Red Hen. Let kids be kids. I'm actually against that. They have a playlist or something? Office hours, prep shows. What is prep shows? That sounds like an industry terminology, but okay. Okay, here we go. I was gonna talk about well, you know what? We'll have to eat dessert later. We have a lot of stuff today, but like we'll get into that. That's just being a tease, I know, but like I did want to talk about this really bad, and mostly because it's huge news. I wouldn't bother otherwise. I wouldn't push aside anything this delicious and this like delectable if it wasn't something important. But after 12 years, last night, I guess, Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, has been ousted. Benjamin Netanyahu has been particularly right-wing, at least, you know, in the modern sense. I mean, probably in the grand scheme of Prime Minister of Israel, he's probably, you know, if not par for the course, you know, a little bit harder than that. But he's out, apparently. Let's take a look.
We are breaking into programming to go live to the Israeli Knesset in West Jerusalem, where a vote is happening right now on a...
Right, exactly. One right wing or another. But like this is one that seems to have less of a solid mandate. I don't know what to say.
New coalition government. These are live pictures from the Knesset in West Jerusalem. This is an historic moment. Could see the unseating of Israel's longest-serving Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, sent to the opposition. Standing by for us, we have Al Jazeera's Harry Fawcett. Harry, just run us through what's happening now.
Sorry, just as you were coming to me there, it seems that one of the members of the United Arab List, which is the Palestinian-Israeli party, which has been supporting the change bloc, 4 members in the Knesset. There was some discussion earlier on in the day that one of those members was unhappy with some of the details of the coalition agreement. And literally, as you were asking me that question, the second roll call was asked. He'd been absent, Saad al-Harumi, in the first roll call. In the second roll call, what I just heard in my ear, at least, was that he had abstained. Now, if that is the case, that means that it's 60 of the 120 seats voting in favor of the government, not the slender one-seat majority, 61 to 59, that they had been promising. They had 60-59, I'm just being told by my colleague as well. So that's confirmed that it's 61-59 is what they were expecting, what they were looking for. One of the members of the Palestinian Israeli Party voting with the change bloc has decided to abstain. That makes it 60-59. That could potentially leave things open to some kind of legal challenge, because this would be the first time.
So just looking into Bennett while this happens, but yeah, that Netanyahu essentially is ousted right now. Essentially, that's the short of this.
That an Israeli government had been voted through on a plurality rather than an absolute majority.
No.
So this is a last-minute hitch. Whether it's decisive or not, we don't yet know. But it's extraordinary that at the last minute, this extra obstacle, this extra roadblock has appeared before the change bloc.
Okay, Harry, we'll get you a standby there for us while we listen in to what's happening there in the Knesset.
Members of Knesset, please be seated. The result of the vote: 64, 59 against.
Now, just looking into Bennett, apparently he is self-described ultra-nationalist. He's the guy that's to be coming in to replace Benjamin Netanyahu. He describes himself as more right-wing than Benjamin Netanyahu, and he opposes the creation of a Palestinian state. So this guy is also an incredible piece of shit. So let's not get super excited. Hopefully, this is a situation where this guy is completely nerfed in terms of his ability to do the horrible shit. I doubt it. I just sort of fear that this might be going into the wrong direction. In February 2012, Bennett established a plan to manage the conflict called the Israel Stability Initiative. The plan was based in part on elements of early initiatives, Peace on Earth by Addie Mintz and the Elon Peace Plan by Benjamin Elon. It relied on statements of Netanyahu and Likud party ministers in favor of unilateral annexation of the West Bank. Okay, just take it over. Bennett opposed the creation of the Palestinian state. Quote, "I will do anything in my power to make sure they never get a state." Jesus. In January 2015, it says tripartition of Palestinian territories, whereby Israel would unilaterally annex Area C, authority over the Gaza Strip, would be transferred to Egypt. So he wants the Gaza Strip to go to Egypt. Area A and Area B would remain the Palestinian National Authority under the security umbrella IDF. Oh, God. So he wants to just cut off the part of Gaza that he doesn't want, just partition Gaza. Finally, Israel would invest in creating roads so Palestinians could travel between areas A and B without checkpoints and invest in infrastructure. Okay. Israel learned to live with the Palestinian problem without a surgical action of separation of two states. So this is like a two-state solution guy or whatever. No, he's not a two-state solution. He's just get them out of here. 2014, a group of academics who opposed BDS movement and members of the Third Narrative, a labor Zionist organization, called the U.S. and EU to impose sanctions on Bennett and three other Israelis who lead efforts to ensure permanent Israeli occupation in the West Bank and annex all or parts of it unilaterally in violation of international law. Well, fuck it, fuck international law, I guess, and fuck all the people that we're gonna, essentially destroy while doing that. Yeah, this sucks. I mean, he's a part-time. It seems like what I understand. There's a 2-year switcheroo of prime minister they're supposed to have. We're gonna tag team this thing. He's an ex-IDF commando, yeah. So it's always great to see somebody like Benjamin Netanyahu have to resign in disgrace. Actually, he's kind of not participating in the process particularly. He's basically saying, I don't want to give any legitimacy to this stuff, but yeah, he's getting owned, which is the only good part of this. Everything else is bad. I mean, I'm a hope springs eternal kind of guy. However, I'm not going to delude myself into thinking that like everything will suddenly be different because Benjamin Netanyahu's gone. That's not realistic. November 2016, Bennett said that the election of Donald Trump as president of the United States gave him hope that the two-state solution could no longer be considered viable, claiming, quote, the era of the Palestinian state is over. Good Lord. This is just from Wikipedia. That's like the fastest place I could find information on this guy. In spite of expressed right-wing views against the Palestinian state while engaged in coalition negotiations for unity government with Yair Lapid and other party leaders during the 2021 Israeli legislative election, during which he was offered prime ministership, Bennett agreed to a policy of not annexing territory to West Bank. Yeah, sure. Believe that. Believe this motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah. We're moving on. This is from More Perfect Union on Uber.
When you book a ride through Uber, up to 40% of your fare is taken by the company before drivers receive their share of the money. But a new workers' cooperative in New York City is trying to change how ride shares work. Co-op Ride.
Okay, so we talked about this on Kenzo Shibata show, not this past week, but the week prior. This is a co-op like springing up in competition with services like app ride sharing, quote unquote, services like Uber and Lyft. Let's take a look.
Is a new rideshare app that's unique from Uber and Lyft in several major ways. First, they promise lower fares to riders. And second, the app takes a lower percentage out of drivers' wages and delivers the company's profits back to the drivers as dividends. Most importantly, the company offers a part ownership stake for all drivers that sign up.
The power of these companies comes down to a simple choice people make of like, what button do you push when you open up your phone to get a ride? And well, now you can push a different button, which actually helps your community instead of hurting it.
The stakes are high right now for rideshare drivers in New York City. This year, Lyft, Uber, and other allied gig work companies worked closely with New York State lawmakers on legislation that would allow them to continue classifying their workers as independent contractors rather than employees.
All right. So just to get started really quickly on this, I'm not so sure that this is something that can like overturn Uber and Lyft. Like, I don't think that that's really like on the table, and I don't really think that's necessarily even like the intention of this kind of a program, of this co-app as we coined it. Credit to Janelle Jolly on that one. It's a co-op app, however, the idea that it could potentially compete with Uber and Lyft is something that's, the possibilities are at least interesting.
Though worker advocates have stopped this bill for now, it's clear these companies have their eye on New York. And this level of influence is not without precedent. Nationwide, major rideshare companies have spent hundreds of millions of dollars lobbying to maintain the status quo and have won
22 motherfuckers.
Major victories.
In a very sick and twisted way, Uber and Lyft are taking money out of drivers' pockets and then using it to bankroll a nationwide assault on workers' rights.
That's Eric Foreman, a labor organizer and one of the 3 co-founders of Co-op Ride.
My co-founders are Ken Lewis, who is a longtime driver and transportation management professional in New York City, and Alyssa Orlando, who is a ex-Uber manager who came over to our side.
Co-op Ride is organized through a workers' cooperative, a business model that includes major American brands like Land O'Lakes and Ocean Spray.
In traditional companies, the wealth goes to outside investors and the decisions are made by a management that's accountable to those investors. And that leads to constant conflict in the workplace. And that's why workers need to organize unions. In a co-op, the business is owned by the workers themselves. And so they make decisions democratically about how it should be run. This simple but profound difference of ownership changes everything else. Uber and Lyft, their outside investors are represented by a board of directors which hires a management team whose single-minded goal is to squeeze drivers as much as possible and extract as much wealth from them as possible with high commissions, fees, predatory financing.
How are they going to buy yachts on only 15%? So yeah, this is actually a pretty good explainer of what a co-op is. Now, in terms of, again, the viability of this project, I mean, the question's still up in the air. Let's go back and look through that part one more time. I mean, essentially the difference, and it's not that complicated to be totally clear. The difference between a co-op and a corporation is that in the corporation situation, essentially it's owned by people who invested capital. They've spent money and they've essentially owned shares of that company. In a co-op, essentially the workers are the ones who have that kind of control.
Co-op Ride is organized through a workers' cooperative, a business model that includes major American brands like Land O'Lakes and Ocean Spray.
In traditional companies, the wealth goes to outside investors and the decisions are made by a management that's accountable to those investors. And that leads to constant conflict in the workplace. And that's why workers need to organize unions. In a co-op, the business is owned by the workers themselves. And so they make decisions democratically about how it should be run. This simple but profound difference of ownership changes everything else. Uber and Lyft, their outside investors are represented by a board of directors which hires a management team whose single-minded goal is to squeeze drivers as much as possible and extract as much wealth from them as possible with high commissions, fees, predatory financing deals for vehicles, payday loans, basically every predatory scheme in the capitalist playbook. Uber and Lyft in New York City, there are regulations that force them to pay the minimum wage. So guess what they pay? The minimum wage. With us, we've set our pay rates 10% higher than the minimum wage from the beginning, and if we can go higher, we will. With Uber and Lyft, commissions eat up to 40% of people's paycheck. With the drivers cooperative, the cooperative has this sort of break-even fee, which funds the co-op's operations, and if there's a profit that comes out of that at the end of the year, it just goes back to drivers as dividends.
That notion of sharing profits with workers stands as a stark difference to major rideshare apps. If you've taken an Uber or Lyft recently, you may have noticed that prices have been high. A recent study showed that the cost of a ride was 49% higher in April than it was a year ago.
God damn. Holy shit. But there's points and this is something that we talked about again when we talked about this last week. Uber and Lyft are not particularly concerned because they have so much Silicon Valley funding coming in. They're not particularly concerned at this point with turning a profit. They're more interested in submarining any competition. So, despite the fact that they don't turn a profit, they still get a lot of investments. And that investment money can be used to essentially cut the prices of rides rather, to below that that the co-op could potentially sustain. Now, the upside of that is that for a while, rides are gonna be cheaper. The downside is it's gonna essentially be an attempt to kill off this kind of a structured business or structured sort of competition model.
Some recent surges have made prices jump 50% or more, but drivers report they are not benefiting from these higher prices.
Yeah, I've been driving for Uber and Lyft for about two and a half years. I don't feel included. I don't feel like I'm a part of the community, like of the decision making that affects us.
When I work for these other apps, it was always a challenge to, to talk to a real person.
They don't care about the drivers. They care about the money they're making from you. When you work for Uber or Lyft, you are considered as an independent contractor. How independent are you when they are the one determining their life for you? I'm giving my 100% time to drivers co-op. Why? Because if you have been trying to start your own business, this is it. As a driver, the management are the drivers. The people making the decision are your fellow drivers. The board members are your fellow drivers.
Competing with Silicon Valley and Wall Street-backed behemoths might seem like a daunting challenge, but Co-op Ride already boasts a membership of 2,500 drivers in New York City, and those drivers remain unfazed by the battle ahead.
People might not want to join something like this because they just feel like we're not going to be able to win against the big guy. But how would we tackle against Uber? How do we tackle against Lyft?
People say, well, how can you do this? And I have to say, how can you do what? Look around. The transportation in this city has existed for over 100 years, and it's almost always been propelled by the labor of immigrant workers and of working class New Yorkers. So we're not really doing something new. We're doing what working people have always done, which is start businesses to improve their lives.
I'm excited, not nervous. Ownership is everything. If you're going to be working, you want to have ownership in something. I just feel like it puts me in the driver's seat.
Co-op Ride has consumers in mind as well. Part of their strategy is to offer riders lower fares.
We'd be very happy for some competition in terms of paying higher wages to drivers. If Uber and Lyft would like to give over ownership of their own companies to their drivers, we would be happy to compete with them on that playing field as well. All that we need for this to be successful is for New Yorkers to make a choice. Instead of using Uber and Lyft to get around, use Co-op Ride. It's as simple as downloading and using an app.
All right. So again, like the jury's out as to whether or not the viability of this is real. However, it's worth checking out. It's worth supporting. Do I think that this is going to be like the thing that like destroys Uber and Lyft? No. But if it gets the price of rides down, that's not a bad thing. If it gets, workers more of a piece of the pie, not just with this app, but if it provides leverage for workers who drive with Uber and Lyft to make more money, that's also a good thing. So I'm supportive of this effort. I'm also sort of like very clear-eyed from the perspective of like this is like the Co-op Ride has a giant bullseye on it. Like the industry wants to destroy it as soon as possible so that they can actually start making money. But yeah, you want to ride with the guy in the hat? He looks like he has some good stories. Yeah, he does. If they started to take off in San Francisco, they'd probably pass a law against I don't know how they could do that, honestly. I don't know how, like, what that law would look like. It would have to be a pretty, like, I'm not, like, saying that it couldn't happen. I just don't know what it would look like, if you know what I mean. Anyway, PragerU time, baby. Let's go. PragerU for kids. Just what we all wanted. Leo and Layla's story, history adventures with Adam Smith. Let's fucking go. First of all, we have a young child reading the Financial Times. And the headline is Big Tech and the Not So Invisible Hand. What does that mean? Is this like an anti-big tech already, just to start?
This is so unfair. How am I'm gonna be the only... I can't believe What? I can't believe Mom and Dad. All my friends are going on a beach trip next month that costs $100, and Mom and Dad are making me pay my own way, even though I told them I only have $10 left in my...
What the fuck, Mom and Dad? Like... like if I was this teen, I would be pretty pissed off too. Like, what the fuck? You going to the beach and you're gonna leave your kid at home if you can't like pony up $100? Like, what's the deal with this? I mean, this is propaganda. This is absolutely propaganda.
And mom and dad are making me pay my own way, even though I believe they. What? I can't believe mom and dad. All my friends are going on a beach trip next month that costs $100, and mom and dad are making me pay my own way, even though I told them I only have $10 left in my purse.
Nice. Maybe this will teach you some financial responsibility.
Whatever, Leo. That's what mom and dad.
What a fucking shitty little brother, by the way. Like, you're trying to go on a little beach trip. You're trying to go talk to like the one person that you think might care, your little brother, and he's like, you know what? Sucks to be you. Sucks to be you. Yeah, right.
Dad said, "You think you're so smart. Remember, I'm your older sister. Don't you lecture me on financial responsibility."
Well, I was just reading about the father of economics, and I think he can help you.
Who is economics?
Economics isn't a who, it's a what. And it has to do with things related to making and saving money. This guy invented the economic system that we use in America. It's called capitalism.
I need to make money fast. Let's go learn about capitalism. From its dad?
Well, we'll have to go back in time to Scotland. That is where Adam Smith was from.
I've always wanted to see Scotland.
Maybe we'll see the Loch Ness Monster.
Okay. First off, the context that Adam Smith would have for 2021 is questionable. 2, they just have a phone that can just transfer them through time to go meet fucking Adam Smith, like through time and space. Where'd they get that from? I mean, if you have that, but you're also complaining that you can't go on like a beach trip with your friends, like you can literally go on a beach trip at any point in history that you ever wanted to right now. What's your problem?
Hello there, laddie and lassie.
I'm Leo, and this is my sister, Layla.
Yes, yes. And you're from the future, and you're studying for an economics...
Why? The big Scottish accent. Can you believe it? It's Adam Smith.
Test. Crivens. You future kids in all your tests.
No, not exactly. We are from the future, but my sister here needs to make $100 pretty quick, and we thought you could help.
Ugh, why didn't you say so? Let me tell you about capitalism. Before I came around, people believed that there was a set amount of wealth for the entire world.
Oh my god, I totally know what wealth means.
Ew, Loch Ness Monster is as effective as supply side econ. Oh, got their ass. Fucking two-handed.
It means money, that things you have, you know, like how many things you can buy.
I was totally gonna say that, Leo.
Before capitalism, people believed that more wealth for one meant less for others. This type of economic system limited trade, led to violence, and made some people really rich and most people really, really poor. In capitalism...
So what he's talking about is like zero-sum economics and like a basic principle, at least in like libertarian. What's up, Dan? Basic principle that's being sort of like operated here is that there is like scarcity, and the idea that there isn't scarcity in capitalism is kind of also laughable. Like the point of capitalism is to generate scarcity so that prices and markets can be driven up. But okay.
If everyone focuses on making the best products and services, the wealth of the world is limitless. Even if they're just focusing on themselves, everyone will benefit. Their own self-interest will lead to more happiness and more peace.
So...
God, that is so like... I mean, let's just go through that part again.
Limitless. Even if they're just focusing on themselves, everyone will benefit. Their own self-interest will lead to more happiness and more peace.
So...
Isn't that an incredible fairy tale to tell yourself? Like, by pursuing my own self-interest, I'm actually making the world a better place. by being selfish and greedy, a selfish, greedy motherfucker, I'm actually benefiting the world. I'm actually doing best for everyone. Like, that kind of a post hoc justification for doing what you wanted to do anyway is just like, you kiss your fingers, folks. You kiss your fingers. You gotta love it.
So, greed is good.
No.
Also, this fucking little kid wants to be Gordon Gekko. Like, this is not ironic or a joke either. Holy shit.
Leo, self-interest is different from being selfish or greedy. It means doing what is best for yourself will lead to rewards for everyone. If you're a generous and helpful person, you'll be rewarded with friends. If you run a business that is honest and fair, your reward will be loyal customers.
And your customers will benefit from loving what you have to offer.
How do you know what is fair to charge? Who decides who gets to make more money or less money?
Excellent question, Layla. No person decides, and certainly no government does. Fairness is determined by what I call the invisible hand of the market.
Yikes, invisible
I just saw that hand. How is it invisible? Now, also, like, by the way, like, I'm not like a Smithian. Like, this is literally a cartoon representation, but also like the ideas are like just as fucking cartoonish.
And?
I know it sounds spooky, but it just means that the economy runs best when costs and wages are determined naturally by the market. That's when people can negotiate freely about what to charge and what to pay.
So no one should force you to pay more than what you want?
That's right, Leo. Now, what type of business are you going to make?
People might pay to hear me sing. La 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 la.
Or we can pay you not to sing.
Any other ideas, Layla?
We do have 2 giant lemon trees in our backyard that are blooming right now. I have $10 for other supplies. We could have a lemonade stand.
That's a great business idea, Layla.
Yeah, but Layla, there's already a lemonade stand in our neighborhood. Kenny and Karen.
All right. You have lemons in your backyard. So basically you have unearned access to means of production that other people wouldn't have. So you don't have to purchase that. I don't know. That doesn't seem to be something that would have like free access to everybody to this situation, by the way.
And Heather's 3 blocks away. Won't they get mad?
Under capitalism, competition is good. The invisible hand naturally guides competing businesses to improve the quality of their goods and services. If Kenny and Karen act in the best interest, they won't get mad.
This idea of the one that the actual free hand of the market is like not this like fucking theistic. However, this representation of it is basically fundamentalism. It's entirely like treating the idea of the free hand of the market as like literally a fucking deity. Which, I mean, if you're like ideological fundamentalist, which in a lot of ways ideology has replaced religion, if you want to get like a little bit philosophical about it, makes sense.
They'll try and make better lemonade than you.
Let's go make lemonade, Layla. I'll get lemons from our trees, and you use your $10 to buy the other supplies we need. Bye, Mr. Smith.
Goodbye, kids. Good luck.
2 more lemonades.
I mean, it was the Enlightenment. Like all the fucking elites in at least America were deists. So that does make sense.
People are loving our lemonade.
This is the best lemonade in town.
I thought I hated work, but this is great. I'm gonna have more money than I've ever had.
You're gonna have money. This is Layla's lemonade. You're my baby brother, and you're helping.
What a tyrannical fucking boss, by the way.
You're gonna have money. This is Layla's lemonade. You're my baby brother, and you're helping me get the money for my beach trip.
I'm no baby. In fact, I'm your employee. And if I'm not making any money, then I'm out of here. I could be researching stocks and watching the global markets. Bye.
Wait, Leo, don't go. Oh no.
Wait, this still kid's walking off the job? That's fucking based. This dude is like understanding and leveraging. Now, obviously, it's like not done in the way that like it's not like a union, but like he singularly is like representing like labor power for like half a second here. Did they do this on purpose? Did they do this on purpose?
What have I done? What am I gonna do? I'm going back to, what was his name again? Oh, Adam Smith.
Hello, Layla. How's the lemonade stand going? Where's your brother?
Mr. Smith, the stand was going good. I don't really like talking to all the customers, but I was making good money. The big problem is that Leo walked off the job and now I'm all alone.
That doesn't sound like Leo. Why did he leave?
He got upset that I wasn't paying him. I thought he was just helping me get to my goal, but he wanted some of the money.
Sounds like Leo acted in his self-interest.
Yeah, I guess so. I need $100 fast, but I need Leo's help too. What should I do?
Bosses have to pay their employees and give them benefits. Pay too much, and your business will fail because of lack of profit. Pay too little, and you'll also fail because your employees will leave. It's the invisible hand that will lead you to the right decision.
I think I know just what it will take to get Leo back and make sure he's a happy employee. Capitalism's a really good system, Mr. Smith.
Thanks, Layla. If you practice my teachings and have good lemonade, you, Leo, and your customers will get what you want. When done right, everybody wins with capitalism.
Okay, bye again.
Goodbye, Layla. Enjoy your work and enjoy the reward of your beach
look,
trip.
there it is. There's the Loch Ness Monster. There you go.
This is so much fun, and we're making so much money.
Thanks for coming back to work, Leo.
You made me an offer I couldn't refuse. 30% of the profit, the business named after both of us, and stock options when we go public.
Damn. You're this little motherfucker, this from the entire thing, the entire time is reading the Financial Times, talking about like how like all of these fucking like ideas of how he's like savvy and like investing in stock options and all this other shit. And he gets fucking owned. He's getting a 70-30 cut when the only difference that like sister and he made was like she did a $10 capital investment. Like he sort of represents the dumbass worker, and he's just he got fucking crushed, man. Like this kid just got dunked on two-handed. He got thrown into he got fucking totally like dumpstered, man. Ugh. I hate to see it.
I'm going to have enough money to go on as many beach trips as I want. What are you going to do with all your money?
Bitcoin.
Oh, God. He is
if you're interested in time traveling with Leo and Layla again, please subscribe and watch more of their adventures.
No. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, there's one more. Oh, what a fucking shit show, man. Like, just guest star fucking Adam Smith. Hilarious. Let's see. There was one with Reagan. And I guess that's the only... Whoa, military appreciation wreath. Oh, I don't know. Do I click it? Chat? Do I click it? I can do this one where they hang out with Ronald Reagan or military appreciation. Oh, let's do both. We'll do this one and then that one, then we'll get out of here. How about that? All right. I can't pick. He got his name on the sign, so that's unpaid promotion. That's right. He basically just got like taking that and like not taking. And plus, by the way, like it's also very, very funny to me that like again they base their entire business off of like living at a house that has lemons, so they just like fell ass backwards into owning part of the means of production. And then also, like, the only difference is that the sister put forward like a $10 capital investment, and he did all the work. Fantastic. That was actually a very, very pure distillation of what like modern capitalism is. When life gives you lemon trees, is what the capitalist is. Yeah, right. Got him. All right, we're watching. Okay, I cannot wait for these people to meet Ronald Reagan. Okay, for these kids to meet Ronald Reagan. Like, you have no idea how excited I am for this. Why are you breaking a fence, dumbass?
Hey, Leo.
Hey, Layla.
Why are you pulling down our neighbor's fence?
Today, this is not a fence.
Oh, yeah? Then what is it?
It's the Berlin Wall, and I'm Ronald Reagan, our 40th president.
And I guess that means you're here to tear down the Berlin Wall?
This kid is deluded. Okay.
You got it. I'm gonna set the East Berliners free.
Leo, I'm pretty sure that our neighbors aren't from East Berlin.
Well, they are today.
Whatever you say, Leo.
Did you know that Ronald Reagan was one of our most popular presidents?
Of course I knew that.
And did you know he was California's governor before he was president?
Well, duh. Did you know that he started out as an actor? He starred in over 50 movies.
Yeah, and he wasn't just an actor either. He was in the military during World War II.
You know what?
I mean, you could say he was in the military. He like did fucking films, like propaganda films in the United States. He didn't fight in anything. What the fuck is going on here? Why is this kid all of a sudden like why is this kid all of a sudden like fucking William F. Buckley or something?
He was actually great at a lot of stuff. He played college football.
He was also on the swim team.
He ran track, too.
Plus, he was student body president.
And he was totally handsome.
Ew. Gross.
What the heck, Leo?
Boy, I sure wish I could have met Ronald Reagan.
Well, why can't you?
Because he passed away in 2004 when he was 93 years old. I wasn't even born yet, and now I'll never get to meet him.
Geez, Leo, don't be so dramatic. We can just use my new time travel app to go meet him.
Really? Awesome.
Oh, we'll just use the time travel app. There's an app for everything.
Tap here and away we go. But let me get the settings right before you do that.
Ronald Reagan, here I come.
Oh no.
Wow, is this what West Berlin looks like? Layla, look at that wall. It's huge. Hey, wait, where's Layla?
What the heck? Where am I? Oh, great. Thanks, Leo. I better go find him.
I can't believe I actually went back in time. Maybe I'll really get to meet Ronald Reagan.
Did someone say my name?
It's like fucking Beetlejuice. He just pops up out of nowhere.
Wow, you're really President Reagan. Nice to meet you. I'm Leo, and I came here from the future. What are you doing here?
Nice to meet you, Leo. I'm here in Berlin to stop the communists and end the Cold War.
Oh, man. All this talk about communists is making me hungry.
Well, Leo, communism makes everyone hungry. People live...
Communism makes everyone hungry. Let's not like focus in on anything that like the wars that Reagan started, it specifically in Grenada. Let's not talk about Iran-Contra. Let's not talk about fucking Reagan firing the air traffic controllers. Let's talk about communism. Communism is when you don't have food. And the more food you don't have is the more communist it is.
Living under communism are often poor and don't have enough money for food. That's why we have to stop it.
As opposed to the 0% poverty that exists in America under capitalism, that has always historically existed in this country under capitalism. Like, it's incredible.
I guess you're right, but can we have a snack first? I brought jelly beans.
Leo, thank you. That's my favorite snack.
It's too bad Layla isn't here to have some too. Hey, Mr.
Like
Reagan,
self-flating
can I ask you
bullshit.
some questions?
Of course you can, Leo.
Why did they build the Berlin Wall in Germany?
That's a good question. We're in West Berlin, which is the free side of Germany. On the other side of the wall is East Berlin, which is occupied by the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union, which is communist, built this wall during the Cold War to keep people locked in East Berlin and stop them from going to freedom in West Berlin.
We sure are
It
lucky
was
to
literally a prison, right?
be on this side.
You're right about that, Leo.
Why is it called the Cold War anyway? It doesn't seem that cold.
It's not because of cold weather. It's called the Cold War because we were able to end the war without using any weapons.
A war with no shooting or bombs? How did you do that?
I mean, there was plenty of shooting and bombs in fucking Korea and in Vietnam and many other places abroad, but go off, King.
Everyone was afraid that the United States and the Soviet Union were going to shoot nuclear bombs at each other, but thankfully that never happened.
No nukes.
A nuclear bomb would have been terrible. That's the biggest kind of bomb there is.
You're absolutely right, Leo. That's why we signed the INF.
Oh, I see. Wait, what's the INF?
The INF stands for Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty. Both our
We built 10,000 nukes so we didn't have to go to war. Exactly right. And not to mention also, to kind of like circle it back to our conversation from, was it Saturday? Things like the Dugway fucking proving grounds where they would, test XV nerve agents that would murder sheep, 30 miles away, or bombs with fleas in it that would be used potentially to infect like large amounts of people, or mosquitoes. Similar thing with mosquitoes. Like, yeah, I mean, like we didn't nuke anybody, but we definitely did build a bunch of bombs.
countries agreed to sign the treaty so we didn't have to use our bombs.
Is that all it took to end the Cold War?
Well, no, Leo. We also used our economy to win.
We used our economy.
Isn't that money stuff? That sounds really complicated.
It's really very simple, Leo. We used a program called Reaganomics to make our economy strong. We cut taxes so that the government took less of people's hard-earned money away from them, and that led to more people getting...
Wrong. You cut taxes on the fucking wealthy, and you fucking said that money would trickle down toward regular people, which it doesn't. You also destroyed unions, motherfucker. Like, that's like the opposite of the truth.
Jobs.
Blech. I don't want a job. I hate work. My sister Layla has a job after school, but I like to play after school.
Well, Leo,
me too.
When
Leo.
you grow up, getting a job and working hard is part of being responsible. I'm sure your sister is working hard to find you right now. Thanks to everyone working hard, the United States economy was so big that the Soviet Union couldn't keep up.
You are amazing, Mr. Reagan. You saved everyone's lives and made them better at the same time.
Well, thank you, Leo.
Thank you, Mr. Reagan. You saved everyone's lives and made them better at the same time. Oh my God, what a hero.
But the job isn't done yet. We still have one more thing to do. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Yeah, freedom for everyone.
There you are, Leo. I've been looking for you everywhere. What have you been up to?
Hi, Layla. You just missed it.
Reagan.
President Reagan and I tore down the real Berlin Wall.
Ugh, I can't believe I missed it. You need to be careful when you time travel. My phone battery is almost empty and we need to get back before it's too late.
Okay, Layla. Let me say goodbye to Ronald Reagan first, though. Bye, Mr. President. It was nice meeting you. Thanks for beating the communists.
Goodbye,
Thanks
Leo.
for beating
And
the
remember
communists.
this, it's never too late to fight for freedom.
Here we go, Leo.
Yay, we're back! Layla, you should have been there when Ronald Reagan told them to tear down the Berlin Wall. It was super fun.
It's okay, Leo. I got to do a lot of fun things in the past, too.
Like what?
Glad you asked, Leo. Well, I went to the White House and met Nancy Reagan, the First Lady, and I learned all about their program to keep kids off drugs.
Just say no.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The war on drugs. Perfect. Yes, we did. That was something that the Reagan administration was hugely influential on, which led to essentially the mass incarceration of the 90s. Yes, yes. Don't forget about that. Don't forget about that.
You got that right. Plus, I went to the Supreme Court and visited one of my role models, Justice Sandra Day O'Connor.
Who was that?
She was the first woman on the Supreme Court. She's proof that anyone can become what they want in America. And guess who appointed her?
I have no idea.
I'll give you a hint. He really likes jelly beans.
Ronald Reagan did that too? Man, I'm so glad I got to meet him. Hey, Layla, do you think that I could grow up to be like Reagan?
Of course you can. When Ronald Reagan was your age, his family didn't even have plumbing or running water. But you'll have to work hard if you want to be like him.
You bet I will.
Great. Now why don't you start by fixing that fence before Mom and Dad get home?
This is like this is like some pretty fucking high tier propaganda. I gotta tell you what. Like, it just goes straight to like complete and utter hagiography. Like, it just completely glosses over any friction that would be that would essentially like make somebody like Reagan like any of the realities, any of the things that like people had a problem with, like fucking Iran Contra, the fact that he literally he fucking sold weapons to counter-revolutionary fucking fascists in Latin America, and then use that to essentially gear up for to fight against Iran. Like, it is insane. The shit that that Reagan got away with, the shit that Reagan did, the fucking like stuff that he pulled, he was like extremely like Brinksman about nukes. It was incredible. It's incredible how they just do canonizations, and it's not just PragerU. Like, Obama talked favorably of Reagan in a lot of ways. Like, this is just like the most unfiltered, like completely and utterly distilled of the bullshit. The sort of like the more cooked version that the Democrats do, where they'll sort of like make some like basic head nods towards like the fact that actually Reagan wasn't that great, but he was a great president. He had these flaws, but he was a great president. Like when he fucking, like, again, I constantly go back to the we tortured some folks. Good morning, Kenzo. We go back to we tortured some folks. When Democrats just sort of like go back and they sort of like do this like a little bit more of a like wishy-washy version of hagiography of fucking right-wing fucking figures. It's actually insane. Like, Obama didn't talk about the fucking firing the air traffic controllers during the strike. We're watching PragerU videos for kids. So we're just destroying our brains here, Kenzo. How you doing? How you doing? We torture some BIPOCs, but we're owning that and promise to do better. Yeah, exactly. Look, nobody's perfect. Do you expect me to get it right every time? It's too much to ask. Your standards are too high. All right. I want to watch this last one on military appreciation wreath just because I cannot resist myself. I know we're going a little bit late, but let's go. Oh my God.
All right, we're all here. Welcome, everybody, to Craftery by Prep, PragerU resources for educators and parents. We've got crafts, history, and your questions. I'm Jill, and today we're going to make a wreath to honor those who serve and protect in our military. Here's what you're going to need. a metal wreath frame from a craft store, fabric that's military or camo print. I also got some red, white, and blue stars and stripes. This is not a flag. This is regular fabric.
I love that they're going to shred a flag, though. That's kind of cool, right? That's like pretty disrespectful, don't you think?
We've got some yellow ribbon, burlap ribbon to mix it up, a hot glue gun for later, and some very sharp fabric scissors that you're
actually, this is kind of not very funny in a lot of ways because I could see like teachers doing this in class. Yeah, let's just let's just put a flag in a paper shredder, or like let's burn a flag, and that's like how to burn a flag.
And make sure you get a parent's help with. What's that? We've got a question.
I know America has a big military, but I get confused on what all the different parts do. Can you explain?
You're right. That's a really good question because it can get confusing. Here we go. The United States has the Army, which is the largest and oldest service in the U.S. military.
God.
They're the ground forces. We've got the Navy, on, above, and below the water, surrounding our nation and protecting us around the world. There's the Air Force that provides fast capability and can get anywhere in the world within hours. We've got the Marine Corps.
What about the coups? What about the CIA? What about the fucking like invasions and shit? Why aren't they talking about that? Weird.
Serves on land and in water for combat operations. There's also the Coast Guard for maritime safety and environmental protection. There's the Space Force, which protects our
Space
interests
Force. Yes. Thank God the Space Force is getting some love here.
Space, and the Army National Guard and Air National Guard are our reserves. They're the ones who help with emergencies, homeland security, and more. Whew! I told you it was a lot, but it was a good question. All right, you ready to make our wreath? Let's go. So what we're going to start with is our material. I went ahead and got more than 2 yards of this camo material. We're going to make the strips that we need to tie onto the metal wreath. And you're going to cut it so that they are about 1 inch wide. Doesn't have to be perfect. Mine never are. So 1 inch wide and about 4 or 5 inches
Camo is a cool
in
look.
length. So you have enough to tie. Easy. You keep doing that forever and ever because you need a bunch of them to be able to tie on the metal wreath. You just tie it in a knot. I do 1 knot.
Oh my God, this is painful.
Easy. And it is a project. And you just keep tying them like this so they go around and around.
Oh my God, this
Okay,
is
this
even
is where I
shitty,
need
though.
helping
Like, it's not even
hands.
good.
Get as many hands as you can to help you with this, and it goes a lot faster.
This is Chef's Club for reasons.
So once you've got most of them on, I
That
like
looks
to
like
jazz
fucking
it up a
shit,
little
honestly.
bit with
why
the
would
red,
you-
white, and blue. I'm just going to cut the same size strips, about 1 inch wide. I feel like Betsy Ross. All right. And then you just take the red, white, and blue and fill in wherever there might be a gap
All right, this
or wherever you want to just, done. It's red, white, and blue. It's rugged. It's burlap. It's military. It's camo. It's everything ready for our doors on Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Independence Day, or all year long. Our military continues to protect our freedom in America and around the whole world so that we can have freedom to think and the world's real life heroes.
It would be based to
And
chop
hey,
this up and over.
we hope you had fun. If you've got ideas or questions for our next craftery,
let's do it. Let's
send them
fucking do
our
it.
way and send us your pictures too when you make the
The same
craft.
kind of person help
Keep
you mad if the flag
crafting,
touch the
keep
ground.
learning,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
keep celebrating the land of the free and home of the brave. Woo!
Oh my God, so stupid. All right. I'm sorry I subjected you that, Chad. That was a mess. That was a nightmare. But like, it's really weird. Like that's propaganda. And I guess like I could leave on this point. It's really weird propaganda, right? Like that is some really kind of like odd stuff. What happens when you use all the lemons? Time to use the military to take the other kids' lemons. Oh, okay. Sun Green must be back in the earlier in the show when we were watching the earlier PragerU video with Adam Smith. But yeah, like really weird propaganda, especially those latter two. But that last one Like when you just want to make the freaking flag wreath. Like, why would anybody want to do that? If we're just, you see what you're saying, you could see a normie teacher coming. Oh, no, 100%. I could see a normie elementary school teacher doing that stuff. Like, that, I guess it doesn't make it any less weird. To me, at least. I don't know. But regardless. Anyway. Yeah. Well, we're going to go ahead and end it today. Thank you so much for watching. Kenzo, Sun Green, G Wolf, and everybody else. Dan was in here for a little bit. And you can be like our subscribers by going to patreon.com/goodmorningcomrade. You can be just later, man. You can be like Ty Jitty, Michael H, Dan O, Jonathan H, Timothy C, Dragon Slayer 19, Andy L, Gary W, Rachel K, Kenneth F, Adam R, Trey M, Watermelon Pickle, and now Penelope D. All right, folks. I'll catch y'all later. If you're on Twitch, hang tight for the raid. Let's see. Who can we raid right now? Who's on